Hey, what's going on, James? Can you hear me?
So yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, man. I've really been looking forward to this interview.
Thanks very much for having me on, bro.
And so, we'll start right where I'm sure everybody asks, how has this last year and a half been? Just nonstop frustration, injuries, opponents pulling out, and just overall uncertainty.
Hasn't been too bad, mate. To be honest, a lot of learning. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is kind of I don't really try. I try not to. Maybe if you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have been very frustrated. If I had been in this circumstance, I'd have been very angry. But not now. Do you know what I mean? These I just learn and I grow, and every every little challenge is a chance to learn and grow and become a better person, and that's what I've used it for, and I'm happy to be back. I'm very happy.
And would you say there was any, extremely low points where you're just, you felt like you were just never going to get back in that cage?
Yeah, maybe one or two. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what happens with every low moment? Mate, is a big rise. Do you know what I mean? And here we are.
Yeah.
And here we are. I'm on the rise. I'm on the climb. I was like a fucking horse in the Grand National, jumping over every hurdle that came my way, and now I'm on the finish line and I'm trotting. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trotting towards that finish line. I'm very happy, very grateful, and I put in a lot of hard work. I have worked hard on myself, on my mindset, on my body. My nutrition's on point. My sleep's on point. Everything's on point, and every little obstacle that comes my way now is like a little game. Do you know what I mean? It's like nice try, you know what I mean? But I'm a step ahead. You know what I'm saying? So it is. So that's the mindset, mate. And I'm looking forward to showing going in there and overcoming the obstacles that my opponent brings me. Do you know what I mean? And jumping over every hurdle that he has for me and beating him on the far side.
And so now you're coming back at featherweight. Why choose featherweight instead of, staying at bantamweight?
I walk around over 170 pounds.
That's absurd.
You know what I mean? That's why. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, when I'm off, like, do you know, I can, like, when I was actively fighting featherweight, I was getting to like 167,
Oh my God.
65, 67. Do you know what I mean? So then it was making bantamweight from there was very doable, but this time and then I was before this fight came around, I was touching the scales at 178, and I was just like, fuck that, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? My nutritionist and stuff was like, it's time to make the move up. Do you know what I mean? But it's not to say the bantamweight will never be on the cards again. Do you know what I mean? Well, do you know what I mean? That Patrick Mix fight there, he's a champion. We had a very close fight. Do you know what I mean? He beat me well. Do you know what I mean? And that's just the way it is, and no excuses, and that's a fight there again. And I mean, he didn't make weight that time, so maybe he can come up to me. Do you know what I mean? I made weight. He didn't make weight. Do you know what I mean? So if he can't make weight, then maybe it's time for him to move up a weight class, and I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Or else I could go back down and fight him there again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to be up at featherweight. I'm undefeated at featherweight. I'm 7-0 as a featherweight.
And so is it safe to say that you still haven't stopped thinking about Patchy Mix? You need that one back?
Nah, I don't need anything. I don't
Yeah.
need nothing, mate. So I don't. I'm good. I don't need anything. If it comes around, then yes, absolutely, I'll take it with two hands. As of anyone to give me, do you know what I mean? I'm not. I don't really. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy for that lesson. I'm happy to grow from it, and I'm just happy to be back. Do you know what I mean? The Jimmy show's back in town, and I'm very grateful for that. And it's good. It's good. It's all good, man.
So I'm sure there's absolutely no doubt that, you would have loved to fight, several times over the past year and a half. But, since you're still so young, was there any like positives about it? Just being able to step back and just work on yourself. And like you're
Yeah,
saying, now you're sleeping better, you feel better, everything.
man, it's been great. Do you know what I mean? It's been absolutely great. And the only bad thing that in this whole situation is that sometimes when you're at a pause, life goes on. Do you know what I mean? Everything else goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So like positions fall, no coming out of the rankings, because that's just the way the game is. The game moves quick. Do you know what I mean? Every
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks and the game's changed. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how it is. It could be next week, there could be a different champion in the division. The week after that, there could be a fucking, I don't know, something else going on. Do you know what I mean? He could move a weight class and forfeit. So the game changes fast and it moves on without you. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing, and that's what I was always feeling. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only bad side to it. But is it really bad? Is it really? Do you know what I mean? If I've learned that much and grown that much as a person and matured that much as a person, then it's not that bad, because I'm going to come back in underneath the radar. And I'm very, very grateful for Bellator, for Mike Hogan and Scott to give me the opportunity to come back at featherweight and to make a statement here.
And so, next opponent, you got James Gonzalez. How do you view an opponent like this? Because I'm sure, no fighter underestimates their opponent, but, he's definitely not on the same level of what you've been used to over your last couple of fights.
That's on paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's on paper. That's not by skill set, because he's very skillful, and I don't doubt that he's up there with the likes of Patchy Mix and the likes of those guys. His skill set, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's very high level jiu-jitsu and high level MMA fighter, and been in there with a lot of good guys. So he's seen this level before. Do you know what I mean? And he's seen, what I mean by that is he's seen high level before, and he hasn't seen this level from me. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I look forward to bringing in there and see if he can deal with it. And we'll see. And I'll not be shocked if he can, but he'll not be able to do it for the first round, then the second round, then the third. You know what I mean? He'll not be able to do it for that long, and I'm very confident that he'll eventually go away.
And so you just kind of talked about, what makes him dangerous and, giving him some credit. Other than your skill set and, how talented you are, what makes him beatable?
Is that I'm so much better than him. That's what makes him beatable. It's nothing to do with him. It's to do with me, the work that I put in, my mindset, my approach, my work ethic. That's what's going to beat him. Do you know what I mean? My skill set, the years and years of hard work. I'm just, he's seen high level. He's been in there with good guys. He is a good guy, and he's very high level himself. But there's a lot of things that I bring to the table that a lot of others don't. Do you know what I mean? And that comes along with a good skill set. And I bring all them to the table, and I'm going to put them on the line. And yeah, he might get it round. He might, you know what I mean? He might have his moment or two, and that's it. But he's never getting to the finish line. He's never getting to the finish line. He's never, do you know what I mean? He's going to present me with some challenges, and as I say, I'm like a horse in the Grand National meet, just jumping over all these fucking hurdles that they keep putting in front of me, and I'm trotting up to the finish line smooth.
And so you were saying, you're not counting bantamweight out of the question and going back, but when it comes to, working towards that title shot, are you locked in on featherweight? Do you want to do this, see how you feel moving forward?
Yeah, I'm locked in on all the belts. I want them all, man. I want them all. Do you know what I mean? If I go into this one, they're like, oh well, if you drop back down and have a fight at this weight in the bantamweight, then you could get a title shot. Then absolutely, I'm going to drop down and go for the belt. Do you know what I mean? But if that's not on the cards and all, then I'm going to go for the featherweight belt. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I gotta, the way this game works is that you gotta prove yourself. Do you know what I mean? And then that's what I'm going to do. There's no problems.
So what was your thoughts about, watching that bantamweight Grand Prix and seeing how it played out?
Yeah. It was. I saw if it wasn't me, it was going to be Patchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought, and not the way that he finished it though. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't think he would do. He fires at me a lot, and the thing is about it is people dip and try and punch him to the head, but every time he fired it to me, I went to the body, because I knew my punch would get there quicker than his knee could come up. That it gets to the body quicker, so it kept pushing him off balance, because he kept firing that knee to me, but every time I could see him twitching for it, I just boom, stabbed to the body, or else came all the way out. Do you know what I mean? And there's some good pictures where his knees like kind of just beside my head, and I'm like bang, stabbing him to the body. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Stott should have watched that fight between me and him, and because I set a blueprint there how to pick him apart on the feet. and because I poked the head off Patchy, do you know what I mean? And he beat me fair and square, do you know what I mean? He's a solid competitor and a lot of respect for him, and he's a good guy, do you know what I mean? And that bit, I even broke him, do you know what I mean? I got a scar me some from battering the head off him. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know why Stotts fell into that dipping overhand, do you know what I mean? It's a big tall, long guy like that. You can't dip in, put your head down. Do you know what I mean? And I was fucking, and that was, that's the way the game goes. Fair play to Patchy. I'm very happy to see him win it.
And so if you do end up saying a featherweight, what are your thoughts on Patricio at 145 pounds?
Man, I've wanted that fight since I've come into the games, you know what I mean? And I feel like that could be a wonderful fight in, I'd say, about a year's time. Do you know what I mean? Give me 2-3 more fights, you know what I mean? Let me work my way up to that. Get me in there, get me more ring time. And I beat him. So I do. I beat him.
And so last question for me, James Gonzalez, what is your prediction? Is this fight going to the distance or not?
No, third round TKO.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Hope for all the best for you, man. I really appreciate your time.
One nice one. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.